start from the beginning. My parents were from Malawi. My dad was lucky enough to get a job at Denel as an engineer. And so I was rather blessed to go to primary school and high school. But my high school journey was a little bit marginalized because I went to a private Catholic school. And in my matric grade, there were only 4 black students, and I was one of the 4. So throughout my high school journey, I think it was a critique of how I was either too loud or I was just too outspoken. I did extramurals in drama, public speaking, and debating. And every time I got on the stage, people were just like, okay guys, brace yourself, she's coming. You know? And I always felt bad for that. But when I found myself in drama, I had an amazing drama teacher as a mentor. He just told me, listen, if people don't accept you for who you are, that's not your problem, it's theirs. And once he told me that, I just began to be fierce and loud and unapologetic with what I had to say. So I was always that one girl when she got into the stage, she'd always just do black monologues, like black female monologues. So I remember when I discovered For Colored Girls Only, and I went on stage and I delivered a monologue, and people would just say like, we're not messing with this girl. So I realized my power from a young age, and I think I was lucky to come from a household where my dad was like, always ask questions, no matter how stupid it is, always ask questions. And then I went to the University of Wits, and that was an eye-opener for me, because you come from a school where it is sort of sheltering you, you know, they protect you from seeing certain things. And you get to Wits and you're with different people who have different lived experiences. And the content that you engage with. The first time I learned about Frantz Fanon, about black skins, white masks, how we are told that we are meant to be black, but we only will be accepted if we act as white. You know, that was life-changing for me. But also what was life-changing for me was my first female lecturer, who was a black female lecturer, and I only got to experience her lecturing in 3rd year. But her name was Dr. Lindiwe Makunda. She was a phenomenal, fierce black woman. Every time a man had a question about, but in the Bible they say that women must be submissive, you don't have any, she literally shut them down. And I think I had realized that it was her love and her passion for feminism in Africa that got me inspired to become an academic. But unfortunately she passed away in my 3rd year, and I think when I went and attended her funeral, that just awakened my experiences, because I was like, who's going to carry on the torch to inspire other black women to continue to be academics? Because she was the only black female academic in the humanities department. And so I was like, I'm not going to stop here. I'm not just going to get my undergrad degree and continue as normal. I'm going to push on to my master's. I will push on to my PhD, so that I can allow other women to come through and not struggle as we do. So postgrad was fun. Tutoring was really interesting because you do have students who feel very entitled. This one white boy sent me an email one time. He's like, hi Candice, I don't feel like doing the assignment today because I didn't feel like it and I just didn't get it. So you, as a black woman, you go through struggles, even through tutoring, through lecturing, because people take advantage of you, people underestimate you. And it was very hard to sort of set my stance and set my position to say, I am here, I am qualified, and I'm here to teach you, whether you like it or not. If you have a problem with it, there's the door, raise it up with management. But they put me in this position, and you just have to accept it whether you like it or not, right? So honors was fine. I had the amazing experience of being supervised by this great development lecturer, but then I got to masters. And I decided through the work that I did at the UN, I was like, look, menstruation is a topic that is understudied. It's a topic that deserves attention. So let me do my thesis on it. So Candice goes, she applies, she's like, this is what I want to do. Master's coordinator comes and says, I think you should drop out. And I looked at him and I'm like, why? He's like, well, I don't think it's an academic topic. And I'm like, who are you to say how a lived experience of a lot of women, and especially transgender men as well, who menstruate, is not an academic topic? He's like, I just don't think it's an academic topic because it's too private and there's not enough information about it. So the first thing I told him, I was like, listen, if you have 45,000 Rand, please refund me. I'll gladly go to another institution that will appreciate what I do. right? And he says, unfortunately, I can't do that for you. No. Then I was like, well, unfortunately, you just have to watch me do it. There's nothing else I can do, because this is what I want to do, right? And another issue that Black academics go through is you'll find that there are a lot of topics that are being written by white people that are our lived experiences that get published and get monetized. But then when we try to do it, you're told you should drop out. So I told them plain and simply, I'm not dropping out. And if you want me to drop out, please write a motivational letter. We'll do this with the head of school, and we'll see what happens. And he did it. I presented my proposal, everything went well, it got accepted, and here I am submitting. Last week I submitted my thesis. There are going to be people who are going to read your work. There are going to be people who are going to be inspired by what you want to do or what you intend to do. The amount of people who approached me saying, Candice, you don't understand how you writing a topic about this validates my experience. The moment your topic is published, the fact that University of Wits is like, we're publishing it, it's well known that a lot of girls throughout the world actually struggle through menstruating, right? And my love for that then went further, because I felt that with a lot of academics tend to be very distant. When you think of academics, you think of old, boring people, but I wanted to revitalize that brand. I wanted to be an academic that was approachable, that was able to speak to people in a common voice, right? I'm not going to be here hitting you with higgy haga, cream on cream. I'm going to be here saying, this is your lived experience and it's validated, and you're worthy of it, right? And the journey of it has been inspiring, because what I am trying to do is I'm trying to ensure that the girls who come after me don't have to go through the experience of being told to drop out. Because if you want to write about the fact about gender-based violence or anything that impacts you personally, you're allowed to write it. And that's what I want to do. And I made the decision to pursue my PhD, and it's not because, you know, I want to be the first doctor in the family, but it's because I want to be able to write about experiences that a lot of women go through throughout the world, and just be able to say, hey, this is what you're going through, it's validated. And on top of that, I also want to be a great supervisor for a lot of girls who won't have the opportunity to actually experience being in postgrad. So I want to open the doors. That's what I want to do, and that's what I am doing. But on top of being an academic, I publish content for children, because I feel that as academics we do have a responsibility in making the world better. We research all the time, and I feel that if we're researching all the time, surely we should be taking the knowledge that we've learned and implementing it to make it better, right? To make the society that you live in better. So QRATE came about because the research that I found with menstruation, I found that a lot of girls lack education. So the first time a girl menstruates, which usually starts at the age of 8, she realizes it's like the first time she opens her panties and she sees this red flow, it's like, I'm dying. But it's because no one has told her, this is what's happening to your body. These are the body changes that you're going through. And I was really furious when Herman Mashaba was like, it's an outrage that you're giving girls sanitary pads because you're making them think about sex. But there's a way you can have the conversation about menstruation without linking it to sex. It's possible. So I then embarked on creating QRATE to say, let's have uncomfortable conversations, but in a very comfortable way that is user-friendly for both two parents and children. So throughout the next years, I really do want to work on a comic book series, because I feel that kids do react well to comics, and eventually work on making an app, but that's what I want to do. I don't want to just work on making articles and publishing, always being in the office. I really do want to work with children, because I really do love teaching children, and that's through the work that I've experienced through tutoring and being an academic. So 3 tips that I can give to you if you want to go through the journey of academia. Believe in yourself, believe in your topic. Also take the time to rest, right? You cannot produce good work without a healthy mind. And this was probably the hardest thing for me, because I would feel so guilty if I do something as simple as, okay, I'm going out for a walk, but then in the back of my mind I'm thinking about, but the chapter that I haven't finished, how am I going to finish it? But I can't finish it if I'm always stressing, right? The third thing is, don't ever feel afraid to just have a good support system. And that's also important to realizing the people around you. If you have a good circle that supports you, that are always encouraging, you will be fine. But if you have a support system that is always willing to just bring you down and always criticize you, it's going to be hard. So always just look at your circle and whether your circle is trying to bring you up or trying to bring you down. So those are the top 3 tips I can give you in mastering the master journey, I think. But I think I will leave the rest to the Q&A session, and I really am grateful for the Kween Project for inviting me. I think the first time I met Ray was at the Awid. Yeah, it was a great summit. We all came together. We advocated for African women's rights, and I think the Kween Project is doing amazing work with having talks like this where women can just vent and get experiences. Because in as much as you can get as many degrees, networking actually puts, you can actually get the experience from networking and make friends. Watch the talk on YouTube. So I'd like to thank you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.